The story of the Persian Empire, a behemoth that once stretched from the Indus Valley to the Balkans and Egypt, begins not with conquest, but with a confluence of nomadic tribes coalescing in the southwestern Iranian plateau during the early first millennium BCE. These tribes, collectively known as the Iranians, spoke Indo-Iranian languages and were distinct from their Mesopotamian neighbors, possessing a warrior culture and a complex system of tribal hierarchies. Among these tribes, the Achaemenids were a relatively minor clan, but they were destined to forge the most significant empire the ancient world had yet seen. The founder of the Achaemenid dynasty, Cyrus the Great, ruled as a vassal of the Medes in the 7th century BCE, laying the groundwork for his grandson's ambitious endeavors. However, it was Cyrus II, known to history as Cyrus the Great, reigned c. 559-530 BCE, who truly initiated the rise of the Persian Empire, capitalizing on the weakening power of the Median Empire. Astyages, the Median king, harbored anxieties about a prophesied overthrow, leading him to order the execution of his grandson, Cyrus, at birth. Miraculously, Cyrus survived, raised in secret by a shepherd, unknowingly preparing for his destiny as a king and conqueror. In 550 BCE, Cyrus led a rebellion against Astyages, skillfully uniting various Iranian tribes under his banner and challenging the Median dominance. The ensuing conflict culminated in the fall of Ecbatana, the Median capital, effectively ending Median rule and establishing Cyrus as the king of Persia. Cyrus, however, wasn't content with merely replacing one empire with another. He envisioned a broader realm built on principles of tolerance and respect. His conquests continued eastward, targeting the powerful Lydian kingdom under King Xerxes, a realm renowned for its wealth and sophisticated culture. The conflict between Cyrus and Xerxes was marked by a famed encounter at Sardis, where Xerxes, believing Cyrus would attack head-on, was swiftly defeated. Cyrus famously spared Xerxes' life, captivated by his wisdom and respect for his opponent, a testament to his unusual magnanimity. The fall of Lydia expanded Cyrus's dominion westward, bringing him into contact with the Greek city-states of Ionia, who, resentful of Persian rule, would later challenge his successors. The pinnacle of Cyrus's achievements was the conquest of Babylon in 539 BCE, a feat that dramatically altered the course of Mesopotamian history. Unlike previous conquerors, Cyrus did not impose harsh rule on the Babylonians. Instead, he adopted a policy of religious tolerance and restored many exiled deities and sacred sites. The Cyrus cylinder, a clay cylinder inscribed with his proclamation after conquering Babylon, is often hailed as the first declaration of human rights, emphasizing his commitment to freedom of worship and repatriation of deported peoples. Cyrus' empire now stretched from the Indus Valley to the Mediterranean Sea, encompassing a diverse array of cultures, languages, and religions. He implemented a system of satrapies, administrative districts governed by trusted officials, to maintain control over his sprawling realm. The Royal Road, a network of well-maintained highways, facilitated communication and trade throughout the empire, bolstering its economic prosperity. Cyrus' death in 530 BCE, while campaigning in Central Asia, marked the end of an era, but his legacy of tolerance and empire-building would endure. His son, Cambyses II, reigned in 522 BCE, inherited a powerful empire, but his reign was characterized by military aggression and controversial policies. Cambyses launched a campaign against Egypt, conquering the land in 525 BCE and adding it to the Persian dominion. However, his brutal treatment of Egyptian religious sites and his controversial death sparked rebellions throughout the empire. The turmoil following Cambyses' death led to a period of instability, culminating in the rise of Bardia, who claimed to be Cambyses' brother. However, Bardia was eventually revealed to be a pretender named Gomata, leading to a rebellion led by Darius I, reigned 522, 486 BCE, a member of the Achaemenid clan. Darius the Vast, through a series of military campaigns and shrewd political maneuvers, restored order to the empire and consolidated his power. He divided the empire into even more clearly defined satrapies, each responsible for providing the central government with taxes and troops. He implemented a standardized coinage system, facilitating trade and economic growth throughout the empire. Darius initiated the construction of Persepolis, a magnificent ceremonial capital intended to showcase the power and grandeur of the Achaemenid Empire. The elaborate reliefs and inscriptions at Persepolis depicted the diverse cultures and peoples within the empire, highlighting Darius' ambition to create a unified realm. However, Darius' reign was not without its challenges, most notably the Ionian Revolt, 499-494 BCE, a rebellion led by the Greek city-states of Ionia. The revolt, fueled by resentment towards Persian governors and supported by Athens and Eretria, threatened to destabilize Persian control over the Aegean region. Darius swiftly suppressed the revolt, punishing the rebellious city-states and consolidating Persian control over the Aegean Sea. Determined to punish Athens and Eretria for their support of the revolt, Darius launched a military expedition against Greece in 490 BCE. The Battle of Marathon, however, resulted in a stunning Athenian victory, halting the Persian advance and preserving Greek independence. Despite this setback, Darius remained determined to conquer Greece, planning a larger-scale invasion before his death in 486 BCE. His son, Xerxes, reigned 486-465 BCE, inherited his father's ambition and launched a massive invasion of Greece in 480 BCE. The invasion force consisted of hundreds of thousands of soldiers and sailors, representing a diverse array of cultures and peoples within the Persian Empire. The battles of Thermopylae and Salamis, however, proved to be pivotal moments in the conflict, halting the Persian advance and securing a decisive Greek victory. Despite suffering heavy losses, Caryanan for Serban won Totemtedegi, but his army was eventually forced to retreat in 479 BCE. The Persian Empire continued to wield significant power and influence throughout the 5th century BCE, but its expansion had been halted by the Greeks. Internal rebellions and the ongoing conflicts with the Greeks gradually weakened the empire, leading to its eventual decline. Alexander the Great's conquest of the Persian Empire in the 4th century BCE marked the end of the Achaemenid dynasty and ushered in a new era in ancient history.